Ladies and gentlemen, monsters and maniacs, this is not a drill. I am taking off the mask today. Hi! Hope this is what everyone was expecting. My name is Marjolein. I have invited two communities here today, both the cosplay community and the horror community. So if you all can shake hands. Cosplay community, this is the horror community. Horror community, this is the cosplay community. Yeah? Yeah? Alright, let's get into the video. For those who don't know me as the creator in the other community, I go under the name Pumpkin Queen in the horror community. I am a horror narrator, or creepypasta narrator, as some like to call it. This means that I narrate horror stories and creepypastas, as well as No Sleep, SCPs, and also horror stories in general from Edgar Allan Poe and Lovecraft on my YouTube channel. I've started doing this because I want to practice my English, and by now this channel has been run under by dyslexic for dyslexic. And I'm doing this to give free audiobooks for those in need. As a cosplayer, I go under the name Galactic Traveler. And for the last couple of years, I've been taking it a lot more seriously, since I've been working for an eSport commerce and also been joining competitions. And I'll be talking about both a little bit in this video, so yeah. Why did I wait with the face reveal? I wanted to do it sooner, really. I was planning on doing it last year, but eventually got cold feet. That had a really good reason. At Gameforce, I generally work for the eSport commerce, once a while in cosplay, at conventions. And Gameforce being one of them, and here I got to meet up with one of my narrator friends in the Netherlands. And I was really upset that I had to end our conversation saying, I'm sorry, but you can't say on the internet that you're now also friends with Galactic Traveler aside from Pumpkin Queen. Because I wasn't fully ready to take off the mask. And that didn't sit right with me. Because it's really weird to tell one of your friends that you can't say that you're friends online, or that you can't upload pictures of the two of you online. Of course, there are a lot of horror narrators out there who still keep their mask on, and I'm not posting this so to put pressure on those who still respect their mask. I still respecting yours, because a lot of us keep it on for privacy reasons, and let's say a lot of us still, we generally have stalkers in our community. And it is for safety and privacy. But it is not the reason why I kept on mine. And I got reminded by it again during Dutch Comic Con. Here I was able to enter my very first competition as a cosplayer. And I'm going to show you right now my Instagram page and the cosplay that I wore and made. Because I'm very, very proud of it. It's going to make a bit more sense if I'm going to say it like this. As you can see, the very top, we have my cosplay that I'm talking about. This is Shiromori from the animated series Mystery Skulls. The cosplay that I wore during the competition. I made everything myself. The scissors open and close, it took me at least half a year, if not longer, to make this cosplay. And it took me quite a while, and I'm still working on it to make it even better. Thing is, during the cosplay competition, and before even, I heard a lot of people talk badly about another cosplayer who was friends with one of the judges, that they were going to win only because they are friends with the judges. And that is going to happen eventually. If you're climbing up the ranks in our community, if you're getting more well known, if you get better at your craftsmanship, that happens. And eventually your friends are going to, well, either you could become friends with the judges, and I'm not saying that you absolutely should, but it could happen that one of your friends gets invited to be a judge, or suddenly you have to compete against one of your friends. And should you get angry about that? No, absolutely not. It's just either shit happens or it's just like that. And can you blame these people? No, I think that cosplayer did an amazing job. I think they're awesome. I don't know if they see me as a friend. I love to be friends with them. Their costume, by the way, was absolutely phenomenal. And I'd love to learn more from all the other people there, because I have met an insane amount of amazing and super nice people that day. But because of the backlash they got, I was afraid to take off my mask, because in the horror community it's so normal to become friends with some of the big guys while you're still small, that I thought to get the same reaction if I were to tell, hey, I am also friends with some of the big YouTubers out there within this community. And that just happens. We act in the horror community like a family. I've always learned to act like this because we're just like that. We have a lot of group chats with small and the big creators together. We do a lot of collaborations together that are hosted by some of the big guys, just to get as many of the small people in there, in the hopes to that they get a little bigger, because it's hard to grow on YouTube, let's be honest. And that's not something that you see a lot in the cosplay community, because let's also be honest about that, it's very hard to do a big elaboration in cosplay, or to do a big shoot. I think it's very difficult. I've tried and I've failed. Because you never get everyone in the same place if you live everywhere and nowhere in one country, and then also be able to get one location, a photographer, and it just sucks. So I'm not saying one community is better than the other, of course not. It's easier to do a collaboration that big on YouTube than it is for the cosplay community. But I do see that one community is more helpful towards the smaller creators than the other. What I also do see, that the majority of the people who are saying these things are the smaller creators in the cosplay community. And those are the people that I've been scared of. And that's bad. Because it's only the small and the younger people of our generation who are saying these things, because they don't know any better. They don't know what's going on, and they haven't grown enough to know. And I can't blame them for that, but we can teach them. Jealousy is a big thing in the cosplay community. And you know what? I don't care anymore. I still want you to look back at the cosplay a little bit. I'm going to put the competition video up right here. Because I was scared, I wasn't willing to talk about who did the voices. Besides Shiromori, I did the voice for Shiromori, of course. I mean, if you have the microphones and the skills to edit, it's really cool to do your own audio. And I highly recommend people to do that. It's super fun, and I'd love to help people in the future if there are cosplayers out there who want me to help them. Because I'd love to do voice lines for other competitors as well. Because it's something that I like to do. So if you need help or want to know how I did it or the programs I use, I'd love to talk about that more. But yeah, the people who did the voices of Arthur and Vivi are two buddies of mine in the horror community. Vivi is done by Romnex. She's an amazing female narrator, and I think you should all go and listen to her. She's amazing. She needs more followers, by the way. If the name doesn't ring any bells, maybe her boyfriend, the Dark Somnium, does. He's also a really good narrator. And the voice of Arthur, on the other hand, is done by my buddy Spike. Spike also may not ring any bells, but the name Mr. Creepypasta probably will. And he's a very well-known narrator within our community. And I am so happy with how both did the voice lines for this, because they did absolutely amazing. And I hope that in the future I can call upon my other narrator friends for this kind of stuff, or other friends in general, other cosplayers who love to give it a try on voice acting, because it's actually really fun to do. But yeah, it sounds weird to suddenly have to drop such a big name, because I didn't know how people would react to it. And because of that, I kept the mask on for a long time, even though I already wanted to take it off last year. After the things I said and told at Gameforce. So, what are we going to do now? Merge the two together. I have now officially shown my face. I hope that the two communities now have well, you two now seen each other. And let's be honest, I think we can work this out. I think I can do both, but also can make content for both at the same time. Which sounds weird. I know I should do live streams more often. I haven't made time for that a lot, but I will. With my Vtuber model. And let's be honest, I absolutely love her. So I'm definitely going to use her again. So just because I show my face doesn't mean I'm going to stop using her. To be fair, I'm actually planning on making a whole cosplay just for Pumpkin Queen. I'm currently working on, going to start working on a cosplay for Mela from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and if you were to picture those two next to each other, they are very similar. With similar, I mean it's a bodysuit, weird looking gloves, and gravity-defying boots. I will say the ones from Mela are going to be more difficult than the ones for Pumpkin. But I do think Pumpkin is going to be more work than Mela, since it's a bodysuit with, on top of that, a cat suit with a skirt attached to it. a mask, gloves, boots, everything. Besides that, also a crown and a necklace that both have to light up eventually. And Mela doesn't have LED lights, doesn't have a mask that I have to make. The only really tough part about that cosplay is going to be, of course, leather work and the boots, which, again, defy gravity. But if I do manage to finish Pumpkin, whenever that is, I want, and that is a plan, a solid plan that I want to start doing panels in cosplay. I know that there are conventions out there here in the Netherlands that allow you to sign up for workshops and other kind of stuff, that you can get a whole room for a couple of hours. And if you can manage to get in with something interesting, I could maybe tell stories for a couple of hours, scary stories in cosplay of Pumpkin, set my microphone down, yeah, this one, a beamer behind me with, well, a video of a fireplace, you know, that little bit of ASMR, dark piano music, pillows littered all over the floor, so people can just come in, rest their feet, sit down, because we don't have enough places at convention halls for that. Let's be fair, the last couple of conventions have been absolutely filled with people, and it is becoming even more and more after the corona period or the pandemic, because people have caught on cosplay. And there are more and more people that I see sitting on the floor, sitting outside, because there just isn't enough place to sit. How great would it be to just have a room to relax that is a little bit more quiet and closed off, especially if you are very sensitive to sounds, but is also entertaining. I think it would be a great idea if there are other narrators. I know that there are other narrators here in the area that would love to jump on this idea as well. Maybe we could eventually do something together. I think it'd be a great idea and be a very interesting one. And it would bring something new to the table at a convention floor. Anything else that I wanted to add? Now that I have two communities combined, I also don't have to kind of keep my hobbies and original characters separated anymore. I eventually had to make original characters just for the cosplay community because I couldn't cosplay any of my original characters from the horror community, so that is probably a plan as well, aside from more art from Luan and Dr. Herb. You can expect maybe cosplays in the future from Mogolga, Regarculus, and who knows. And yeah, those are just plans. I don't know when or how, but just things that I thought about for a while. And that's something I really wanted to share. I want to thank all of you for sticking with me, for being there for me, for the amazing friends that I've made in both communities, by the way, and for a hell of a ride. No, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop for saying that. But I'm planning on staying a whole lot longer. Thank you all. You are amazing. Goodbye.